Hello, my name is Emike Oyemade, and I'm so super excited to bring you my devotion for this week. When I was an undergraduate, at some point I was in an abusive relationship. I had this young man who I thought that we had something serious to do. He was a Christian young man, and I was a Christian young woman. And I thought that because of the fear of God, we would be able to nurture a nice relationship until we graduate and get married. Unfortunately, it turned out to be a really abusive relationship. And by the help of God, only by the help of God was I able to be delivered from that kind of relationship. But that's not what I'm talking about today. Years after I left that relationship, it became difficult for me to trust another man. It became difficult for me to forgive myself. It became difficult for me to feel that there is anything worthy about me to bring into a relationship. Again, by the help of God, I was delivered from that kind of feeling to be able to hold on into a new relationship. Today, I want to give a few suggestions on how you can leave your past behind so you can hold on to a glorious future. Now, the Bible passage that I mentioned in the book of Philippians, chapter 3, verse 13, Apostle Paul was speaking. The path that I really meditated on for this week, he says, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forward to those things which are ahead. You would see that except you forget what's behind, you cannot reach for what is ahead of you. Sometimes we want to reach for what is ahead of us when we haven't forgotten the things that are behind. The truth is, in life, you are going to encounter many unpleasant situations. People are going to disappoint you. Your heart is going to be broken. People will betray you. Loved ones will turn their back against you. If you focus on those, you will never be able to hold on to a glorious future where you can meet wonderful people who would help you in this life journey, where you can have better experiences. A lot of people want to hold on to their past and expecting that God will do something new in their life. It's not going to happen like that. Let me give a few suggestions that helped me that I think would also help you. First, to be able to be delivered from the prison of the past, you have to decide that I want to let go. I want to move on. I want to hold on to this glorious future. In my own case, I had to make that decision of, am I going to be here forever? Am I going to always think that all men are abusive? Am I going to think that there is nobody out there that is worthy of sharing my heart with, sharing love with, sharing time with? It has to be a decision. If you do not decide that you want to leave the past behind, no level of prayer will be able to deliver you from something that you haven't decided about. Number two, you have to ask God to heal your heart and help you to move on. Truth is, when you are heartbroken, disappointed, or hurt, it takes God to move in to heal your heart. You may use several steps. You may forgive you may say you have forgiven the person, except God helps you. Forgiveness is divine because people will always hurt you. So ask God to help you. Ask God to heal your heart and help you to move on. You also have to forgive yourself. Now, that was the point that I had challenged with. I continually asked myself, how did I end up in this relationship? How did I get here? When did I say yes? Why didn't I leave as soon as as it dawned on me that this was an abusive relationship? Instead of asking all of those questions and bringing back the sad memory, forgive yourself. You are also human. You will make mistake too. Now, closely to that, you also have to forgive the person who may have hurt you, betrayed you, abused you. Now, when you forgive people who hurt you, you are not doing them any good but yourself. Because they're living their life, they're living happy, they're continuing with whatever they are, but you are still putting yourself in the prison of the past where you say you don't want to forgive them. You don't even have to wait for them to come make an apology to you before you forgive them. Now, number 4, focus on the future. If you focus on the past, like I mentioned earlier, you will not be able to hold on to the future. Focus on the future. What are the plans ahead of you? Where are you going to be tomorrow? What about 5 years' time? If you hold on to 5 years before, you will not be able to reach forward to 5 years ahead. What's your plan? Where are you going next? What should you do? Have a plan and focus on the future and what lies ahead of you. The scripture I read in Philippians chapter 3 verse 13, Apostle Paul says, forgetting the things that are behind and reaching forward to the things that are ahead. The past is the past. Leave it to the past and go to the future. My friend, was it someone who betrayed you? Was it a business that crashed? What exactly happened that still makes you think and you feel bad and you feel that life is difficult? I encourage you today to let it go. Ask God to help you heal your heart, forgive yourself, forgive the person, focus on the future, and move on. I pray that God will indeed step into your situation and help you to reach forward. Till I come your way again next week with more exciting devotion. Stay blessed.